Hi girlies. So I thought I would come on here today and give you guys some different content. I thought, you know what, a story time would be really good, so that's what we're doing today. Basically, this is the story about how I almost died. No, that is not clickbait. I actually went through something where I was basically gonna die, but like I didn't. I'm obviously still here, but like so I'll give some backstory on what happened, like the events that led up to what happened. So basically I was pretty badly anemic for probably like a year and a half, probably about a full year. And I had gotten an iron infusion previously because my iron was at like 6, and that's like you basically don't have any oxygen like in your blood, so you can basically die already. But I got an iron infusion that went all well. It was all good. If it went well, I wouldn't need to get another one, and if it didn't, then I'd maybe need to get another one, which isn't really recommended. But I got some blood tests done after the period you're supposed to wait for it to like kick in. It actually didn't end up working, so I went later in the year to go get another one. Basically what happened was it was all booked in, it was all fine, you know. I was gonna go get it done, and I had the iron vials that you get from like Chemist Warehouse or something, and I had them, and I went with my dad to the place where you go get the infusion, and I was just chilling, you know, just waiting. I hadn't had much water to drink that day, which probably was a bad idea, but like because if you're getting any sort of like needle in your arm, it's easier to see the veins if you have drank water. So it's better basically if you drink water, but I hadn't drank a lot that day. But when I went there, the nurse like consulted me, and I'm thinking I've already had this done before, so I vaguely remembered how it was supposed to go that day, so I wasn't really like worried. Of course it is scary because you're gonna be sitting there for like an hour with your arm, like a massive needle in your arm just pumping iron into you, so it's pretty weird, the concept. But I went there, sat down. The nurse seemed to be a bit ditzy, but I was like, oh, that's fine. The last time I was there, I remember seeing her, so I'm like, whatever. Basically, she tries my left arm here, and she trying to find a vein, she can't find one. So then anyway, she ends up stabbing my arm with the needle, and when you put your arm into the vein, a little bit of blood's supposed to come out, but no blood came out, so that means that she actually missed a vein. So she ended up trying the other arm, and then I had to put like a band-aid over that. And this is always the case with me anytime I get any sort of needles, blood tests, whatever. It's trying both arms because you can't find any veins. That's just me, I guess. So she tries the other arm, and immediately when she puts the needle in my arm, it just felt weird. I don't know, I had sort of a bad feeling, but I thought I had this done pretty early in the year, or like the year before, I think it was. It's been a while since I've had one done, but it felt a bit weird when she put the needle in anyway. And I thought to myself, that's a bit funny, but I'll leave it because I don't want to start freaking out now because I need this iron infusion because I'm so tired. If you've ever been anemic before, like really severely anemic, it's the worst thing ever. For example, if you have your normal 8-9 hours of sleep or whatever, you wake up and you're just so tired. You feel like you've ran a marathon. You feel like you've done so many things and you're just so tired, just always out of breath. There's no color in your face. It's being anemic is probably one of the worst things ever. So anyway, it felt a bit weird, and I was like, I'm just gonna like not say anything. I probably should have said something at the start, but I didn't, and I was like, oh, it's fine, you know. And when she did put the needle in my arm, blood did come out, so it seemed like she hit a vein. And then this is where the story goes downhill. Basically what happened was that when she started putting the iron infusion in, my arm started to bubble. I started to get like a little bump on my arm over here where the needle was, and it started to hurt so bad. And she asked me if I wanted a glass of water, and I was like, yeah, okay, I'll get a glass of water. And then this pain near my arm that I cannot even describe. It was so sore. it's like when the infusion went into my arm, it's like this pain from the top of my head to the bottom of my bloody feet. It just overcame my whole body, and I was like starting to like freak out because it started to hurt. And I told her, can you stop whatever this is, because it's hurting me really bad. I go, I can't do this. And then she says, yeah, that's fine. And then she ends up stopping it and then rubbing my arm for some reason, which sounds really weird. And then while the needle's in as well, and she starts like rubbing my arm like this, and like I'm still like in pain, so I don't say anything. And then she starts it up again, and then I start freaking out, and I'm like, oh my God, turn it off, I can't. And then she says, we'll leave it for a few minutes and then we'll start it up again, but if it happens, I'm gonna have to call the doctor to get some vitals. So I'm like, all right, it's fine. I go, it's okay, just put the needle. I go, it's all right, just start it up again. And then this hot feeling just overcame my whole body, and I started to get like tunnel vision. I could only see like through, like, it's like I was looking through this and it was all black, and my vision started going down, and I started breathing really, really heavy, like I didn't know what was happening. And my whole body was like frozen. I started to like shake a little bit throughout my whole body, and I started sweating. Oh my God, bullets of sweat all over my face. I have a full face of makeup on as well, so everything's just everywhere. I'm sweating, so my back feels like there's literally like I've spilt a bucket of water all over myself, and I start freaking out. And then in that moment, I literally accepted death. Like, I thought I was gonna die. Like, I was gonna fall asleep and then like not wake up. Like, in that moment of me freaking out and everyone panicking around me, I was just sitting there just staring, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm gonna die. I'm not gonna wake up I'm gonna fall asleep and I'm not gonna wake up. Like, I'm just gonna die. And like, I thought to myself, what are they gonna say to my mum and dad? My dad was in the corner of the room, so I was like, what are they gonna tell him? And my mum wasn't there. The one time she like wasn't there for something like this, she was at work, because she normally accompanies me for stuff like this, but like it was my dad because he had a day off, and that was when it was booked, so it just like worked out like that. And I thought, they're gonna tell my dad that I have died, and he's gonna have to tell my mum. And I was thinking, what the hell is she gonna do? And I thought my brother and sister, they're gonna now grow up, because my brother's 16 and my sister's like 14, and I'm thinking they're gonna grow up now and like be adults, and I'm not gonna be there. Like, they're gonna grow up and not, you know. So yeah, that was pretty bad. So they stopped it, and the doctor checked my blood pressure, and then basically my blood pressure was to the point where if I had left it any longer, because I only did 3 minutes of this one. This is the same formula as the one I had before, but I felt fine for that one, which was really weird because I had it at the same place. But basically my blood pressure was to the point where if I left it for another minute, probably I would have gone into cardiac arrest, because my body started to go into shock. And then yeah, the doctor said that this one's not good for you, so we're gonna have to stop this now, and you're gonna have to just stay here until you're like fine and stuff like that. It was like regain consciousness, I guess, a little bit, because I was like, I didn't know what the hell was happening. I was like, I'm dying, you know, what the hell? Like, everyone's just gonna freak out now that I'm dead. Like, my funeral's gonna happen and nobody's gonna like touch my room now, and everyone's gonna be disturbed in my family, like stuff like that. And like, I needed to just like calm down, because they took the needle out and everything. And after that, I sort of like got back into, you know, how I felt before, like how I felt normally. I started to feel a bit better, but my arm was so sore, like it was actually ridiculous. And basically they told me that I had an allergic reaction to the iron infusion, which was quite weird because I've had this one before. And they told me that I would have to get a different formulation of an iron infusion, and I have to get a different one, and I'd have to get it again, because my iron was at like, before it was at like a 6, and now it's at like a 7 or an 8 after the first iron infusion. And then I went home, you know, the lady, when they was stopping the iron infusion, she kept rubbing on my arm, and like, because I was so freaked out, I didn't say like, don't fucking touch me, you know. I didn't want to like freak the lady out, but I probably should have like started getting like aggressive or whatever. I don't know, because it was like, it was a pretty scary thing. And then I end up, a few days later, I have to go get another infusion. Or I think it was like a week or a few days. It wasn't like a long period of time. Like, it wasn't like a month or anything. I can't really remember exactly when, but it was so hard to find this other infusion for it to be at the next appointment. It's a different form of it. And we couldn't find it literally anywhere. Like, we called up another place to get it, and it just like, we couldn't find it anywhere, basically. It wasn't anywhere. And then we end up getting one, and we book the appointment, and we get it done by my doctor at that place. And then all went well. It was fine. It was exactly like the first time. And then I have the band-aid on my arm for a little bit, and then I take it off, and I have pictures somewhere. I'll try and find them, and I'll put them up here. But like this arm here, it had like a massive bruise on it. Like, you know, if for example, if you get like a blood test and you lift something and then it gets all bruised, I had like a massive bruise, and like, because I had the band-aid on for a little bit, it's like my skin got all like irritated from the band-aid. And then my right arm, okay, this is where shit gets juicy, right? My right arm, that shit starts to hurt really bad. And I notice like after like the first day, I have this like blue mark on my arm. Like, you know, like when you can see your veins, or like you're really cold, it starts to turn a different color, and then gradually it gets really dark. And I'm like, am I all right? Like, is this normal? And basically that's when what I guess we believe that the infusion leaked into my arm. So that's why I felt like that. I don't know if the lady like put it in a weird way, and then like she hit a vein and then put it more, like, I don't know exactly what, because you sign a flyer, so like the place isn't liable for it, because this can happen. It is like a thing that happens. And then this is basically how it looks now. So if you guys ever see me like put my arm up or something, or like this, and you see something there, it's not like a bruise. Like, I haven't been hurt by anyone, but that's the iron mark basically. And like, you can see it shifts pretty regularly, like with this blue, but it's traveled all the way down my arm over here. But that's pretty much what the leak, it's like an iron infusion leak. And they say that they told me that it lasted forever, but we searched it up, and it lasts 4 to 5 years. So hasn't been that long since I got it, so I'm gonna have it for quite a while. And even now, they didn't tell me that like it feels really sensitive. Like, sometimes I can't touch it, like it's really sore, which is like really weird. Yeah, so I just have like a mark on my arm now. And if you thought it couldn't get any worse, basically I had, all went well with the second iron infusion, it was fine, but like I had reacted to it. Like, something that was in there made my whole body just burst out into like rashes. I looked like I had like hives. It was even worse than hives. It was like every follicle of hair. Like, for example, you know when you get goosebumps and your skin goes all bumpy? That was like mine, but with red rashes everywhere. And it was so sore. And I went on antibiotics, and then I went on like a steroid cream, and then it got rid of it. And now I think I'm allergic to a preservative or something. I don't know what it is, because I've had iron infusions before, and like I didn't get that sort of reaction. So I don't know what it is. But yeah, that's pretty much the time I almost died. It was pretty freaked out. I'm not really like as freaked out by needles anymore. Like, it was kind of scary at the start, but it's been a little while now, so I'm not really like freaked out or anything. It was kind of scary, but now I've kind of like just gotten over it a little bit, because the places that I go now, I go to like different places. I like trust them, so I'm like, I'm not gonna like, you know, freak out and like let my fear of needles or my fear of getting blood taken out or something injected into me, I'm not gonna let that overcome my life now. I'm gonna look past it. It was scary, yes, it did happen, but I'm gonna look past it now, and I'm not gonna let it consume me. And even now, like if I need to go get a blood test, they take it on my left arm, they don't take it on my right arm, because I tell them that I have the mark there. Yeah, I just pretty much not like got over it. It's still scary when I think about it, but like it happened now, and there's nothing I can really do about it, because This mark will eventually leave, but it's just weird how it's a bit sensitive. Yeah, that's actually it's not clickbait, girlies. It actually did happen. So I don't know about those other YouTubers that use some small portion of the story as like clickbait or whatever. This was real. It was something that happened. Oh well, I'm not dead. I'm still here. So I'm very grateful that they took it out when they did, and I didn't leave it anymore because, you know, my blood pressure and stuff like that. So that's pretty much it now. So, and if you guys ever have questions about this, don't be scared to just leave them down below, or like, you know, talk to me about it, whatever. It's fine. I'm totally fine. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Bye, girlies.